Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. It is 7:30 p.m. It is Sunday, the 28th of April, almost hitting the month of May. Of course, May, a big month in Spain when it comes to public holidays. So we've got a few of those coming up. And today we'll look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press and also some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. Second half of the video, as always, we'll go into the chat section here, which I have to my right, see what is happening in the chat section today. So if you are watching the live stream, say hello in the chat section. Now, straight into the news, but let's be honest, there's only one piece of news that has been dominating every press outlet here in Spain over the last 5 or 6 days, and it's the big question: will Prime Minister Sanchez tomorrow say goodbye to politics here in Spain, or will he continue? That is the question, and his supporters are saying, please, Prime Minister, don't go. As we can see here, the PSOE party closes ranks with Sanchez at the Federal Committee. President, we need you, they say. On Saturday, the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party, the PSOE, met in a federal committee that has sent out messages of strong support for Pedro Sánchez, who currently leads both the government and the political party. The meeting is a testament to the unity and solidarity within the party in times of uncertainty and political challenge. The PSOE's Deputy Secretary General and Vice President of the government, Maria Jesus Montero, opened the federal committee with words of encouragement for Sanchez. Montero stressed the importance of standing firm in the face of challenges facing the party, recalling that the socialists have overcome obstacles in the past, that they must not allow the right to dictate the terms of the political game. So it all comes down to a battle of ideologies, the right dictating terms according to the left, and that's what can't happen according to Ms. Montero. But of course, as I said, we'll see tomorrow. President, we need you. President or Prime Minister, please don't go, are the slogans, and around 10,000 people, I think, turned out to Socialist Party headquarters in Madrid at the weekend last night, Saturday night, to support Mr. Sanchez. Of course, there's always going to be some haters amongst that group because Mr. Sanchez, let's be honest, he doesn't have a lot of friends in certain circles here in Spain. But of course, his party want him to continue while the others just sit back, do their jobs, and try and keep out of the spotlight while Mr. Sanchez takes the brunt of all the political aggression, which has reached new highs in recent times because of his wife being brought into the mix and involved in an alleged corruption scandal, which some are saying is the reason why Mr. Sanchez is contemplating stepping down. Next piece of news here, and the Economist newspaper is asking the question: has the spectre of terrorism finally been excised from Spain? Sometimes good things come in strange packages. On the 21st of April, Spain's Basque country voted in regional elections. The Basque Nationalist Party, the PNV, the conservative separatist movement that has led the region since 2012, scraped out the barest of wins, tying its rival in the number of seats and eking out a symbolic victory in the number of votes cast. But that rival was Bildu, which had its best result ever. The left-wing separatist party is the descendant of the political wing of ETA, a terrorist group that killed hundreds of people across 4 decades in Spain. ETA formally ended its armed struggle in 2011. Bildu has never apologized for ETA's terrorism, saying in 2021 that it felt the pain of its victims and that its violence never should have happened. Now it's the region's second political force, and many Spaniards are horrified. Yes, Spaniards outside the Basque country horrified with what's happening up there, according to the Economist newspaper. I was going to say The Guardian, but it's The Economist here. And has the spectre finally been removed from Spain? I don't know. That's the question. I know that there are some political parties which want to hold on to the terrorist past, always bring it up any opportunity that they get, and others that would like to let sleeping dogs lie, let's say. But it is an issue that the rest of Spain doesn't really understand, how that political party can be the second most voted party in the Basque country. But again, if you don't live in these areas, sometimes difficult to know what the political sentiment is there. So that's what we're seeing. But let us know your opinion in the comment section below if that spectre has disappeared from Spain, that spectre of terrorism. And the final piece of news, some good news for people that like beer, wine and bread, and I know that there's a few out there, and it is that they may hold, or these three things may hold the key to longevity. Beer, wine and bread have a common denominator, what is known as brewer's yeast or yeast fungus, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, a widely used element in the food industry and a popular dietary supplement due to its potential health benefits. In addition, recent studies suggest that it may play a key role in the cellular aging process. The yeast fungus is a single-celled microorganism commonly used to produce beer, wine and bread due to its ability to generate carbon dioxide and ethanol during the fermentation process. Moreover, due to its structure and genome, it is one of the most studied eukaryotic cells, I think that is, and is used as a laboratory model for experiments of various kinds. So there we go. Good news for people that like to have a beer every now and again, to have a glass of wine, and also maybe to have some bread. Good news, because it may hold the key, as we can see here, to longevity. There we go. Interesting news being published there in the Spanish press. Now, into the comments. Some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. One here from Ron. When someone uses the term far right, I get suspicious. It is used against so many people with views that were considered mainstream a few short years ago. It is nowadays used as a slur to shut down conversation. I can't believe the accusations can go to court without some kind of criminal investigation by law enforcement. Seems like the system open to major abuse. Thanks, Ron, for those comments. The second part here obviously referring to the concept here in Spain, which is known as the popular accusation, where people can put together a case and take it to a judge and get them to investigate. And that's what's happened with Mr. Sanchez's wife, who is being investigated by a judge in Madrid because I think it's some type of lobby group. They call themselves a union, but I think it's a quasi-union. Put that complaint together based on press articles, a whole lot of cutouts, put them into a scrapbook, took them to a judge and said, here, investigate this. And the judge said, okay, I will. And that is the problem that we have here. So, I mean, if you can do that, just go through the press, getting different articles together, putting them in a scrapbook and giving them to a judge and getting that person to investigate somebody, then I think there's an issue. But it's the way the system works here. And the first part of the comment from Ron, using the term far right, yeah, a lot of people seem to have a problem with this word, and it does pop up in the press quite a lot, whether it's here in Spain or whether it's in other countries as well. Some people blaming one particular newspaper for overusing this word, the far right, but it is a term that is thrown around a lot in recent times because of the political situation that we have in different countries, where parties that are on the right side of politics, you can call it the far right, of course, but then people say, well, you never call these other parties the far left. Well, people do. You just probably don't read that type of press, maybe. I don't know. But you do hear both terms, far left and far right. But yeah, Ron there saying that term is thrown around all too easily nowadays. Another one here from John. Tourist tax is not a bad idea. I would spread out the costs of public facilities that tourists and locals both use to all, not just the locals paying for it all. I'll just reread that. That tourists and locals both use to all, not just the locals paying for it all. The only problem would be how the money collected would be allocated, maybe having an untouchable use where politicians could not relocate it, like low-cost housing for low-wage earners to compensate for housing for losses to short-term rentals like Airbnb. The tourist tax idea, which is being thrown around here in Spain, of course, on the back of Venice last week announcing they're charging €5, I think, to step into Venice, and other places saying that, well, maybe we could put a tourist tax on as well. Would people mind paying a tourist tax? I don't know. Some places here in Spain already have one, as we saw on Friday. Catalonia has one, which ranges from €1 to €5, depending on the time of the year, things like that. The Balearic Islands also have a tourist tax, but maybe the Canaries will bring in a tourist tax. Maybe the Costa del Sol, maybe the Costa Blanca will bring in a tourist tax. I don't know. Will it keep the locals happy? No idea. I imagine it depends how the money is spent, and John pointing out here that maybe low-cost housing for low-wage earners to compensate for the houses that are lost to Airbnb. I don't know, but it's a strong debate at the moment here in Spain. One here from the real Alcatron, I think this is. I really hope this fiasco delays the process to the end of the golden visa, or even better, results in them scrapping the process altogether and keeps the golden visa program as is. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, real Alcatron, because the government has already mentioned that this is going to happen. The golden visa is going to disappear. And the Council of Ministers, I think, has already given it the okay. So it's only a matter of time before it disappears, as it is doing in other countries around Europe, because, as we know, it's the European Union that has mentioned to countries that maybe you better get rid of that golden visa tax that we suggested 10 years ago. Not such a good idea, we've realised, over the last decade or so, because of the type of money that comes in to the country. People perhaps investing ill-gotten gains, maybe. That's what they have realised. Money that maybe is not all that clean, and therefore deciding to scrap an idea which was thought to be a good idea 10 years ago, as I said, but now no. But I don't think it's going to happen, because it's the process has already been set in motion. One here from Ribe. Why is Sanchez so admired as a leader when he runs 12% unemployment, lowest productivity in the EU, and always running out of money? Yeah, good questions, and I'm sure people here would be able to answer the question, the Sanchez supporters. Basically, it's because here in Spain, politics, and like other countries around the world, politics is like a football game. You have your team, then you have the opposition team. And it doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter whether your team wins or loses, whether there's a few problems every now and again, you're always going to vote for your political team. And that's what happens, and that's why Mr. Sanchez is so popular amongst his supporters. But the people that are not his supporters would like to do things to Mr. Sanchez that I can't mention here. And you only have to see the graffiti up around the place and you will realise that Mr. Sanchez is not welcome in many parts of the country. But he has his supporters who took to the streets the other day, as I mentioned, but he also has his detractors. 12% unemployment, that's actually quite good for Spain. Prime ministers here pat themselves on the back when we get 12% unemployment, because the problem, as we saw the other day, according to the Bank of Spain, is that unemployment at 12% here is structural. It doesn't matter what happens, it's very, very difficult to get lower than that figure. I think they said 12% is the structural figure. It's been as high as 25% while I've been here, around 18, 19 for a long time, and youth unemployment at one stage was 45%. So, try and get your head around that one. But those things are not really taken into consideration. People don't talk about these things. People just, accept 12% unemployment as the norm, if you like, and the other things also. But, hey, Michael, I think Sanchez is being lined up for a big job in the EU or NATO. Yeah, many people think this, Michael. There were some people interviewed the other day in the European Union saying, we would love to have Mr. Sanchez up here. Yeah, fantastic. Bring him up to Brussels. Let him continue his political career at a European level. If Spanish politics is too hot for him, come up here 4 days a week, do a few things, go back down to Madrid or wherever he's from for the weekend. Fantastic, right? And NATO, haven't heard about that, but the EU definitely, and probably private sector jobs as soon as his the time frame. I think there's a time frame that politicians can't go into private businesses, like they can't just leave today and start work tomorrow in Banco Santander. I think they have to wait a certain period of time. But private sector when that time period is up, and also the European Union, which is an attractive option for a lot of politicians that have either failed as regional or local politicians, or people that want to continue in politics but out of the general spotlight, because once people go into Europe, nobody knows that they exist, basically. Another one here from Moriarty. Compulsory military service was not popular in Spain in the 1970s and 80s, and it would definitely not be popular today. Yeah, I don't think there's any question that military service is not popular. I think everyone would agree with that. I don't think you get too many 21-year-olds putting up their hand to go and join the army for 2 years, get sent to somewhere that they don't know, and have to live with that type of discipline. We saw a general consensus in the comments here that people were in favour of military service for the Spanish youth. But again, as I said, not sure whether you would be able to convince the Spanish youth that it is a good idea. And not popular in the 70s and 80s, not popular today, according to Moriarty. And I would agree with that. Of all of the people that I have met here that did military service, not many liked it. Not many liked it. No, some were sent to places that they didn't want to go to. Some were obviously forced to interrupt their studies, things that they were doing, their life plans, and all of those things to go and put on a green uniform and cop orders from somebody for 18 months or 2 years or however long the period was. So, yeah. And the last one here from Leeds United, John. I'm not too bothered about a tourist tax because it's only a little amount of money. It definitely won't stop me travelling to Spain. Yeah, I don't think a tourist tax really puts people off. Somebody also mentioned that if you've got the money to travel, you've got the money to pay a few euros extra for a tourist tax per day, whether it's 1.50, whether it's €2, 3. And we saw that there are many tourist taxes already working all over the world. And Italy, I think there was 37 cities that have a tourist tax, and here in Spain only 2 autonomous communities from what we read the other day. So yeah, I think tourists will just take it on board, add it to their budget, and away you go, because people want to have a holiday, right? Now, into the chat section in just a moment. Backdrop change time. This one was sent in from John, who I think resides down there in the south of Spain. This is a picture of the local golf course, looking very green and lush in those desert conditions down there in Roquetas del Mar in Almeria. And the cat photobombing here, obviously woken up from its siesta. But a very nice location to be a cat, I would say. Thanks, John, for sending that one through. And if you've got a similar picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, spainspeaks@gmail.com is the email address. Feel free to send your pictures through, or any other information. Sorry, I just had to cough. Any other information that you would like to see in the news or bring to my attention, spainspeaks@gmail.com is that email address. Now, into the chat I'm going to go in a minute. Before I do that, just let me get this picture sorted. There we go. Like button also going on the screen. If you haven't hit it yet, please do so. There we go. The like icon on the screen. Currently at 54. So maybe we can get up to a decent tally today if you hit that like icon. Also to people that have supported the channel, whether it's on the Super Thanks option here on YouTube, Super Chat in the live streams, buying me a coffee on the buymeacoffee.com website, or the Patreon for longer term supporters. Thank you very much. And also channel members. Some new people have, or some people recently have joined the channel as members. Thank you very much for that support through any of those channels there. Links in the description below. Now into the chat. I just saw a super chat, so I'll get that one out of the way quickly. From Marcus, regular contributor to the channel is Marcus. €5. Rain today in Murcia, good for the trees, but my olive trees don't have blossom yet this year. Again, should have buds by now. Well, it's an issue, isn't it, Marcus, the olive situation around the country? They say that it's only going to get worse. Currently paying record prices for oil. Somebody sent me through a picture of a bottle that they picked up, I think a 3-litre bottle that they picked up in Aldi in Australia for around 38 Australian dollars. Not sure what that is in euros, but around maybe 20, 22 euros. So a decent price, I will say, for 3 litres, considering here you're paying around 10 euros per litre at the moment, but nothing coming through. No flowers on Marcus's olive tree. Now, Barbara into the chat. Valued member is Barbara from the Playa Flamenca. Cool 16 degrees there today. Sadly, not enough to improve the drought situation. Yeah, we had a bit of rain yesterday, but again, not a lot. Andrew saying, hi. Sanchez on his bike. He is hoping. Well, that's the question, isn't it? We'll have to wait until tomorrow. All will be revealed tomorrow, of course, Andrew. Not sure what time. I imagine it will be in the evening sometime because everything happens here in the evening. Not a lot happens in the morning. But I'm not sure exactly what Mr. Sanchez is going to say or do. Nobody knows, in fact. So we'll wait and see. But as I said, his supporters want him to continue, and his opponents would like to see the back of him. Pamela coming in from a gloomy San Juan de los Terreros. Rory coming in from Mallorca, covered in mud, rain, and more tomorrow, but the island needs water. Hope it's cleaner tomorrow. I did notice that the rain that fell here yesterday also had a bit of mud in it. Tio Al, formerly Al. Buenas mis amigos. Cielos soleados con 18 grados centígrados en San Diego. Counting the days until I return to El Puerto de Santa Maria is Alan. Thanks, Alan, for that. Good to see you in the chat. Valued member, of course, as is John. Best wishes for the week ahead. Thanks for that. As is 123. John there in Ireland also. A 2.5 day, a day of 2 halves weather-wise. Warm and sunny this morning, downpours in the afternoon. Everyone is looking forward to, I think that's forward to Mr. Sanchez leaving politics tomorrow. Yeah, again, 1, 2, 3. He might stay, he might go, who knows? As the Clash once said, should he stay or should he go? Leonore coming in. Not sure from where is Leonore. Thanks again, says Leonore. Amanda, haven't seen Amanda for a while, from Shropshire. Janet coming in from Oxford, valued member. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. Renan coming in from Los Angeles. What else? Osuaka coming in from Oregon. Hoping we're well today. Cool and rainy. Todd coming in too, saying hello. Hello, Todd. Bronny coming in from South Wales, 10 degrees there, but currently sat outdoors. It's going to be raining from tomorrow onwards. So Bronny trying to get some outdoor time, let's say, before that rain comes down. Todd's coming in from Texas, just correcting that there. Thanks, Todd, for that. Coming in from the big state of Texas there in the States. Patrick from Dal Caspe, Aragon. Good to see you, Patrick. Kim doesn't want Sanchez to go. Would prefer that he stays on in the top job here. Thanks, Kim, for that. What else? Let's have a look. What else? David coming in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 15 degrees there. Another New Mexico view. I think we've got a couple with Gigi, who I think is in... Oh, no, Gigi's in Arizona. Sorry, not New Mexico. Get it a bit mixed up there. Larry coming in from Tenerife, down there in the Canaries. Arona, to be exact. Iggy coming in from a cloudy Jaén, place that I was recently visiting. Jaén, a nice city as well. I did like it. It's one of those cities that everyone says, oh, I've driven past, but I've never stopped. And that was one of my reasons for going there as well. Everybody goes past Jaén if they're traveling to Granada or to Malaga or to Almeria. It's you'll go past Jaén, but not a lot of people stop. And it was an interesting place. Belinda coming in from Sevilla. Great to see you. It's great to see me in real time. No one here I have spoken to seems too sorry to see Sanchez walk. They say, ojalá. Just my experience. Catalonia deal with the devil, etc. Ojalá means I hope so. I hope so. Sanchez se va a ir. Ojalá, they are saying in Seville, according to Belinda. Yeah, I've heard the word ojalá quite a lot as well. Ojalá, ojalá. Espero que sí. Fluttergirl coming in from Toronto, where it's mild and sunny, and this afternoon it's rainy and cool. Sausage Bap. Evening, just back from Albir. Brilliant time. Albir just down there north of Benidorm, of course. Stephen, just watched the Alicante driving video. That's why I'm so late. Thanks for watching that one, Stephen. Posted that one a little bit earlier today. Check it out if you want to go on a coastal drive down there in Alicante. Janet agrees with Ron with the use of the word or the expression far right. Thanks, Janet. What else we got going on? Gigi, Arizona. That's what it was, not New Mexico. I made a mistake there before. Thanks, Gigi. What else we got going on? Sani coming in from Basingstoke, hoping everyone's had a good weekend. Marcus saying that I suspect that many of those advocating the reintroduction of national service are well beyond the age where they themselves will be sent off to the barracks for 2 years. No doubt that is the case, Marcus. Looking at the demographics on this channel, you don't get too many people in their military service years, that is for sure. A lot of people are over that age now. Not sure what the cutoff would be. Probably, what would it be? 18 to 30 or something like that. 18 to 25. So, don't have to worry about it. But I remember when I was growing up, it was one of those things that I had in the back of my mind. You know, if you ever get called up to go into the army or to go off and fight, because all of the same things were going on back then as well. You know, the Russian threat, this threat, that threat. So I had that in the back of my mind, and when I got to a certain age, there was a sigh of relief. But we'll wait and see. I had a friend who was from Italy. Well, he's lived in Australia, but his parents were Italian. He was born in Australia, had dual citizenship, and he went to Italy for a holiday and into the military service. What else we got going on here? Iggy, actually deciding between Northern Italy and Portugal for a holiday in September, and this unfair tax will make my decision for me. Italy has worse bureaucracy than Spain. No way they spend the dollars appropriately. Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Spending those tax dollars correctly. 118 watching, but only 23 se gustas. Me gustas, I think you mean to say. Well, we're up to 88 now. So thanks, David. Tim's watched me for a long time. Thanks, Tim, for that. Good to see you here. Raymond, good job as always. I visit my in-laws in Chile regularly, and great cheap olive oil available there. Is Spain importing olive oil? The answer is no. I don't think Spain imports olive oil, or at least I haven't seen any imported stuff in the supermarkets. It's not like if you go to Australia and you've got maybe a local olive oil, Cobra Estate or something like that, which is quite expensive, and then you've got your imports coming from Italy or Spain or Greece or wherever. Here, no. Here you will only find Spanish olive oil at Spanish supermarkets. Or at least that's been my experience. Marcus, what else is Marcus? What's this one here? I'm all for a chunky daily tourist tax, $10 Euros a night with a discount for Spanish nationals can help pay for essential green infrastructure to combat the effects of climate change. Thanks, Marcus, for that. But again, the money has to go to the right place, right? To have the idea is fantastic, but to actually put that money where it's supposed to go, that seems to be the issue, isn't it? Philip's coming in from a cool London, 12 degrees Celsius there. 123 was at the local supermarket today and they had a sign apologising for the lack of fresh produce due to the weather in Spain affecting production. Shows how important Spain is to European food security. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't noticed anything here, 123, but maybe it's something to do with the exports, maybe. Don't know. Andrew, also a valued member, coming in from a wet London southeast, hoping we are well. Stephen, valued member 2, coming in from a cool North London. What else? Let's have a look. Alex, greetings from Vermont. Another super chat for T42, 5 euros. Finished living in Spain. Thanks for the news. Thank you very much for that. T42, Finnish person living in Spain. Lots of people from Finland living down here. Obviously, the weather a factor, I imagine. I met a couple of ladies on a boat when I went to Tenerife. I think they were from Finland, living in Malaga. I think they were down there. What's this? Seeking car. Ola from a cold London. What else? Let's have a look here. Bronny's saying that the sun is shining, so that's why trying to make the most of the outdoors. A este que le pasa? A este que le pasa? A ti que te pasa? A ti que te pasa? Leen libros. Pues lee más libros. Rocco, Spain is becoming increasingly unfriendly. Lived in Valencia for 2019 for a year and recently went back. Lots of tourists go home. Graffiti and hostile tourists. There we go. So not happy with that. There's Rocco in Valencia. True, says Belinda. Older demographic here, but we may have youngsters, males who would be tapped. I do. Yikes. That's it, exactly. If you have children, you wouldn't want to see them going into the army for a couple of years with the chance of being sent off to fight a battle. Tony saying hello. Kirk coming in from Florida. Sunny and warm there. Valued member is Kirk too. Michael, hola. What else? Mark is saying Spain doesn't import olive oil. It exports it to Italy where they put it in a fancy tin and double the price. It's called marketing. Thanks, Marcus, for that. Yes, that is what they do, of course. What else? Let's have a look here. Ed coming in from Calgary, Canada. And Marcia saying, I read all the time. Thanks. Thanks, Marcia. Don't know what that's referring to, but anyway. Thank you very much for watching. Now, I'm going to wrap the live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another live stream. Another normal video tomorrow, a regular news video tomorrow. We'll see if there's an update on the Pedro Sánchez story, whether he stays or whether he goes. We'll see tomorrow, of course, and Tuesday we can report on that. Maybe tomorrow morning he'll make his decision, and I'll lead with that, but I'm not hopeful, as I said. I think it'll be an afternoon decision. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating in the chat. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adiós.